Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Prep Composition Syllabus Overview video. I'm Professor Valerie Malott, and we will be going over the Spring 2025 syllabus. Hopefully this video won't be too long, but you never know. I get very chatty. So at the top of the page, you will see that we have PDFs for both the syllabus and the course schedule. I recommend that you download those to your computers. You can easily quickly get through the different portions of the syllabus by these navigational links. They're handy, except that you have to then use your back button if you want to get back to the top of the page. However, if you are just coming in sometime during the semester and you need to remind yourself what my classroom policy is on late work, for example, you can click on that and it will take you down to that section of the page. So, important information. You need to spell my last name correctly in order for the email to reach me. MALOTTVJ@ucmail.uc.edu. Email is my preferred mode of contact past face-to-face. I really enjoy face-to-face, but in an asynchronous class, that usually isn't possible. So if you need to contact me through email. You can also use the inbox feature in Canvas to communicate with me. That's a lot easier if you're already in Canvas instead of having to open up your Outlook. But yeah, email is my preferred mode of contact in these asynchronous classes. If for some reason you need to text me, you can text me at this phone number. I may or may not get to you and answer you quickly. Usually I'm pretty good. I have my phone with me and I can, if I'm away from my desk, I will still have my phone with me. And that goes for email too. I have Outlook on my phone. So if I am, on campus teaching, for example, and you send me an email, I'll still be able to see my emails. Office hours are virtual by appointment. I usually need about 24-hour notice to schedule an appointment, and that's because I teach on Mondays and Wednesdays, so I can't be available between about 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Or, well, I say here I'm available after 2 p.m. That gives me a little bit time to get myself situated in my home office after I've taught. But I am available throughout the day on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Weekends are reserved for family and preparing for the following week. But if that is the only time that you have available and you really, really want to meet with me virtually, I can accommodate you in a pinch. Communication expectations. This is really important. You're responsible for checking your UC email account and or Canvas inbox. Again, that's over here in this black navigational panel. You can read this article, How to Write an Email to Your Teacher, for more tips. I read and reply Canvas inbox messages, or I will email you within 24 hours of receiving emails. That's my preferred method of communication. As I said before, you can reach me by text, but don't call me unless it's a serious emergency, like you're on life support in the hospital and your parents or designated person is calling me to say, hey, this is what's happening. That would really be the only reason for you to call me. You can use Canvas inbox or use email to make appointments to meet with me online. You can also schedule it via Canvas. There is a link here that tells you how to do that. I will not instruct you how to do that. Again, I do need 24 hours notice for virtual appointments. I communicate using the Canvas announcements, so make sure that you set your notifications to get notifications immediately, notify immediately. Likewise, with your Canvas inbox and email, you want messages, your conversation message notification to be set to notify immediately. I give individual feedback via the electronic marginal comments in submitted documents in Canvas, as well as in the comment section within the assignment rubric and assignment comments area. There will be instructional videos, and I'll show you how you can access feedback. I try my best to grade and provide feedback on assignments within 48 hours, but again, as I said, it really depends on class size and the length of the assignment, as well as my schedule. My spring schedule gets a little bit busier because I do have a junior in high school who's involved in baseball. So that takes me away in the evenings or late afternoons and sometimes on the weekends. So just be mindful of that. Early submissions may or may not be reviewed early, depending on my schedule. Usually I wait until the assignment due date to dive in and grade assignments. As far as online discussion and private conversation, of course, it's expected that you'll be respectful and courteous. You may disagree with views that are offered in this classroom, but do so in a way that prioritizes respect for the individual with whom you are in dialogue. So the course overview. It's good to know that this course, Prep Composition, is designed to prepare you for the required English 1001 class that I think everybody, regardless of their major or their certificate program, has to take. So this is not the required course, but we will be working on things that are similar to, and will introduce you to how things are done in English composition or English 1001. The learning outcomes are similar to those of English 1001. You will be analyzing the writing situation by examining audience, purpose, and context. We will primarily be doing that through a rhetorical analysis assignment. You'll compose multiple genres for a variety of audiences and purposes, using sources as a foundation in writing for some projects. So you're not going to be using research or sources for every writing project, but for some writing projects. So we will have some research writing to be doing. You will apply appropriate composing processes and conventions to the writing situation. Essentially, that just means that you will try your best to use standard written English grammar, punctuation, and spelling. You will locate, evaluate, and synthesize source material appropriate to the research topic. So again, we will be doing that through a research argument essay. And you will describe what you know about reading, research, and writing processes, and how you can apply that knowledge in various contexts. So we'll have opportunities to reflect on each writing assignment, but also at the end of the course, there will be a course reflection assignment that is due that will allow you to reflect back on the things that you've done throughout the semester. Again, this is an online asynchronous course, and you have probably placed into this course taking the guided online assessment, whatever it is called, and you received a certain score. Again, this course does not fulfill your English comp breadth of knowledge requirement. It also does not fulfill any of the associate and baccalaureate competencies. However, it does prepare you for English 1001. As far as materials, there are no required textbooks to purchase. I use open educational resources rather than textbooks. This helps to lower your cost of education and helps to ensure that course materials are accessible to all learners. So I will post OER materials, chapters, links, or files in each weekly Canvas module under the readings heading. There's a list of resources here for you, as well as required technology. I will say that while you could technically complete this course and the assignments from a tablet or a phone, I really recommend that you do not do that. So if you do not have a computer at home, or if you don't have a laptop, you can check out a laptop from the UC Claremont Library, or whatever your home campus is. So if you're a Blue Ash student, you could probably also get a loaner laptop, or if you're on UC University, I doubt you would be on the University of Cincinnati campus, since that is a 4-year school, and they usually want you to be ready to go in English 1001. So yeah, it's recommended that you have a computer with reliable internet. Otherwise, it's really difficult to get this course done. That's all I'm going to say. Canvas is our learning management system, and all our required readings and all of our assignments will be submitted through Canvas. Occasionally, I will accept an assignment that's submitted via email, but usually you have to check with me first to make sure that's okay if you're having some kind of technical problem with Canvas or your UC account. But typically, I only accept assignments through Canvas. So that means I'm not going to accept your Microsoft Office links or your Google Doc links to your Google Drive links, whatever. Just submit the file to Canvas. Canvas has there are certain files that Canvas accepts most easily. It does not play as well with Apple Pages or whatever, Mac Pages. It seems to work better with Microsoft and Google. So if you are a Mac person, I encourage you to learn how to submit PDFs. Don't submit Pages files. It just makes me do more work. I also suggest downloading Canvas for Students app to your mobile devices. You can download it to a tablet or your phone, and that way you have access to the course materials when you're on the go. It can be very helpful for a lot of those lower stakes assignments where you might be able to submit, do a text submission rather than submitting a document. It's available for both Apple and Android, and the apps are free. Require technical skills. You can look through all of that. Now let's get to the nitty gritty, what you're expected to do, right? You will write 5 formal essays. I know that seems like a lot, but trust me, it's not that bad. 3 of them will require rough drafts and peer review and revision. You will have unlimited opportunities to revise and resubmit. So there'll be more information on that in the grading section. So this is the way that the assessments are broken down. You will have 50% of your course grade, which is made up of informal assignments or activities. So that would include anything like reading responses, discussion boards, any kind of reflections, quizzes or games, peer review, and other group activities. They're graded as complete and incomplete, and those things cannot be made up. So it's really important that you stay on top, even though they may seem like they're worth nothing. They actually all make up 50% of your grade. The final half of your grade is devoted to the formal writing projects, and they're actually different percentages. They're not all 10%. So the introductory essay, that's the first thing that you will have to do for me in this class, is only worth 5% of your final grade. And I will be very, very lenient as far as assessing that introductory essay, because it is primarily a gauge for me to see where you're sitting with your skill set. We'll follow that up with a personal narrative essay, which is also 5% of your grade. So those first 2 writing assignments, they will not be too overwhelming. The rhetorical analysis is 10% of your final grade. By that point, you should be a little bit more comfortable writing essays. So I feel confident in weighting that a little bit heavier than the first 2 essays. The research essay will be 20% of your final grade, and then the course reflection is 10% of your final grade. That final course reflection is a nice assignment because it's really, well, first of all, it's a flexible assignment. You can choose how you want to complete it, but also it's just reflecting how well you've met the course objectives. So it's an easy 10%. So I encourage you to complete it. There will be a separate document. This is a proposed course schedule right now. I may add more stuff to it. We do have the document that's linked up above, but again, that only has the major writing assignments that I have so far. It doesn't have the discussion board assignments. So you'll probably have a discussion board assignment, if not every week, then probably every other week. I don't think we will do any kind of discussion board assignment during the drafting and revision week, because we will have peer review. So that's an opportunity for student to student interaction. But always make sure you defer to the dates posted in the weekly Canvas modules. All work is due at the end of the week on Sundays by 11:59 p.m. unless otherwise noted. So you will see some additional due dates here for the peer reviews, but also because the discussion boards aren't here on this course schedule, you will have follow-up peer responses for those discussion boards, which would also be due the following Wednesday. There is not a final exam in this course. The course reflection assignment at the end of the course is reserved for finals week. So that kind of acts as your final, but it's really just the final assignment. Final submission deadline for assignments is the last day of the semester, Thursday, May 1st. I cannot extend any extensions past that because I have a really quick turnaround to calculate final grades and get those posted. So I can't extend anything past Thursday, May 1st. Here is the schedule of assignments and then grading. This is another important aspect of this course for English 099 and 1001. You have to earn a C- or above in order to move on to the next course. So for this course, a C- is a 70 or above. If you earn below that and you've submitted all your assignments, you'll receive a grade of NP, which is not proficient. That's a grade that does not affect your GPA or your financial aid, but it does mean that you will have to take the course again and pass it before you can move on into English 1001. So in order to qualify for that NP grade, you have to submit all 5 formal essay assignments to be eligible. Here's the graded criteria. It's just reiterating what I talked about right up here, but some people find it easier to see it in chart format. You can withdraw or drop from the class using Catalyst according to the dates and deadlines that are at the bottom of the syllabus here. Incompletes, I've never given an incomplete before. I've never had a student who has asked for an incomplete. Usually that's given only in special circumstances when there might be a serious illness or some other kind of personal emergencies. And usually you need to have completed about 75% of the course requirements. So you can't leave all the course material until the end and say, oh, well, I was sick and I just didn't do it. There has to have been some progress made in the course for you to qualify for the incomplete grade. So as far as late work is concerned, and this is something that I really want you to pay attention to. So even though this is an online course and things are flexible, due dates really are firm. I am willing to accept late work, but there are some exceptions. So I understand that life happens, so I can be flexible with you, but it is your responsibility to reach out to me and ask for an extension. I don't need to know why you want an extension. I only need for you to communicate a heads up with a general idea of when I can expect your submission. If you submit your work late and you don't communicate with me, your assignment grade could be lowered. If you're chronically late with work, I will request a meeting to discuss ways in which I can help you. So I have provided a template here for an email. extension request. So if you just copy and paste that into an email and insert whatever the thing is that you need to insert, you're good to go. So here are the exceptions of when I will not accept late work. If it's tied to a peer response activity, your classmates should not have to wait for you to complete their own assignments. And if it's past the last day of the semester, I won't accept any late work past Thursday, May 1st. I also like to not review papers in the final 48 hours before final revisions are due, because that just makes more work for me, right? And I don't accept emailed assignments except with some prior approval, right? So you will have to reach out to me and say, hey, is it okay if I email you this because X, right? All work should be uploaded to Canvas. Then underneath here are all of the required policies on student religious accommodations. You can click, most of these have links that you can click and read. Academic integrity, of course, in a writing class is a big deal. All work submitted for this course must substantially be your own and not the work of others, human or machine. So if you are using generative AI to help you with your writing, there are certain types of assignments that is okay for, but for your essays, it is not going to fly, right? So it might be okay to ask generative AI to come up with an outline for an essay or perhaps some topic ideas for an essay, but you cannot ask AI to write the essay for you and then submit that as your own work. AI can be a very helpful tool. It's helped me to create some assignments and to come up with some module learning objectives. So I use AI in my job, and I know that you'll need to learn how to use AI probably for your future careers also, but to have AI completely write an essay for you is just not a legitimate use of that technology. All drafts and formal essays are run through Turnitin, and your similarity score is visible immediately. Turnitin also has an AI detection system. I don't trust that completely because I've had very good students who have had high AI generation scores. And it turned out because they were using Grammarly to help proofread their papers, that we had that AI detection go off. So that's just something to be aware of. However, if I get a really high score for AI generated writing, it will make me look into things a little bit more deeply, and it will be a reason to have a conversation about what's going on, right? If you're transparent with me, I won't fail you immediately. However, if it's a recurrent problem, then I will bring up formal charges with our UC academic integrity people. Again, technology for class, of course, you need to use a computer. Attendance policy. So even though you're not attending, regular participation and engagement in the class are in lieu of attendance. Remember, I said in the overview video, I can see when you're accessing and how long you're accessing Canvas. So that gives me a gauge. If I see that you're not logging in regularly, if a week or two has gone by and you haven't looked at Canvas at all, I may reach out to you to see what's going on. Faculty attendance, we don't have attendance for this class, so I don't know why that's in there. Class cancellation policy. It's an online asynchronous course, so I don't anticipate any need for cancellation. Since we don't meet in person, the only reason I could see if there's a cancellation is if I wind up in the hospital and I'm unable to send out announcements or something like that. But shouldn't be an issue in this class. We have an inclusion statement, so I encourage you, if you want to use a name or pronouns that are not on the roster, just let us know. You can do that in the introductions if you prefer to go by a nickname or by a different name. I'm happy to accommodate you there. Likewise, if you're comfortable using, if you have pronouns that you prefer to use, and you're happy to disclose that to the rest of us, we will stick by that and try to use the pronouns that you prefer. So pronouns and names. Accessibility policy, I've been working to make sure that I have accessible content. If you come across something that is difficult to work with and for some reason you have accessibility issues, whether it's hearing or vision impairment, please let me know and I will try to fix the problem. I'm in the process of getting things up to snuff and making sure that my videos have captions and that kind of stuff. Likewise, if you suspect that you need an accommodation, but you don't have any kind of formal documentation through accessibility resources, please let me know. I am flexible and happy to work with you. I know sometimes, students will come into college and they may have had an IEP or some kind of an accommodation in high school, but it's been a few years and now you don't have that kind of paperwork set in place here in college. Just let me know if you suspect you have some kind of challenges that could be a barrier to your success, and I will work with you. Student resources, again, a bunch of links, and then we have the dates and deadlines. So the dates to take a look at here, the last day to drop is January 27th. So that would be 2 weeks into the semester, the start of week 3. So if you haven't dropped that, that would mean no entry to the academic record. It also means that you would probably be able to get a refund on the tuition. However, if you go past that date and you realize, wow, I really can't handle this class right now, you can withdraw. It just means you won't get a refund. And the withdrawal date is April 11th. Withdrawals will not affect your GPA, but it may affect your financial aid if you go from full-time to part-time status. So again, dropping and withdrawals, I recommend that you discuss those things with your academic advisor or your program advisor, depending on what you're in. So if you have any questions about the syllabus, I know it's a lot of information. It's a lot of required language. The printed document is close to 8 pages because of all that required language at the end. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. And again, I look forward to learning more about you and getting started with the material. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.